Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a zombie horror film, Contracted, Phase 2. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film begins with a deranged and zombie-like looking Samantha getting out of the car. The police and her mom try to calm Samantha down as she snarls and attacks a civilian. Despite her mother's calming approach, Samantha charges at her and tears her flesh with her mouth. As Samantha screams, the police kills her with a shot in the head. Following that event at the morgue, it shows that Samantha's insides have been rotting, blackened, and full of maggots. The scene then fast-forwards to 4 days later, with Riley getting his blood drawn out by his sister's husband. Riley wants his blood checked for everything, as he's worried about having a sexually transmitted disease from a girl he once hooked up with. As his brother-in-law leaves, Riley removes his shirt and checks the 3 long marks on his back. He takes the mayo scissors and removes the skin off his back, causing the wound goo to come out. As he stares into the skin, Riley reminisces the time when Samantha scratched his back while hooking up, causing the marks on his back. As he gets into his car, Riley receives a phone call from the police, informing him of bad news. At the police station, Riley meets a detective who asks him about 3 women as he is seen as a suspect by the police. A flashback shows Alice, a family friend Riley finds dead and covered with blood in a bathtub. As Riley finds another friend, Samantha, Alice returns from the dead and attacks him. Alice tries to bite off his neck, but Riley grabs a glass and smashes it onto her head, removing her from him. Riley attempts to call the police when Alice stands up as if she didn't get hurt. Alice's eyes are white, but she can see Riley trying to talk to her. Riley holds a knife to protect his muscles. When Alice approaches, the knife goes straight into her mouth, killing her. The flashback ends after this. The detective asks when was the last time he had seen Alice. Riley replies that it was during a party at Alice's house. The detective then asks about Samantha, and the flashback reveals what happened that night. Riley and Samantha go on a smelly therapy that night, but maggots come out of her private parts as soon as he finishes. This causes Riley to vomit in pure disgust and shock. Riley informs the detective that Samantha had a girlfriend, who turns out to be dead. The detective then asks about anything unusual Riley might have seen at the party, which he claims he didn't. However, the flashback reveals that Riley saw Samantha hooking up with an unknown guy in the backseat of a car. The detective pulls out a sketch of a guy. Riley recognizes that it is the same guy he saw with Samantha in the backseat, the possible suspect in the deaths and missing girls. As he leaves the building, Riley finds a note on his windshield with the phrase "Big Mouth," implying that someone knows he spilled information to the police. As Riley releases his frustration in his car, Riley's pregnant sister calls and reminds him of Alice's memorial tomorrow. Riley ends the call and drives away, unaware that the suspect is just near, watching him from a distance. After a long, hard day, Riley returns home to his grandma, who offers him her whiskey. Riley takes it and coughs from the strong taste. In his room, Riley decides to call the detective after remembering the suspect's license plate. On the other hand, the suspect finds another victim, a hooker, and injects something into her neck. The following day, while doing his morning jog, Riley finds a dead dog underneath a bridge inside a tunnel. The dog's insides are rotting, just like Samantha's. Riley dismisses the scene and returns home. As he brushes his teeth, he sees something moving underneath his skin, near his eye. Riley doesn't pay much attention to it and checks the scratches on his back, which are not clearly far from healing. He pinches them, causing the goo to come out. After that, he pours some disinfectant to avoid infection. While eating, Riley sees the news about the deaths of the 3 women, and a man named Brett Jaff, called BJ for short, is said to be the suspect of various sexual assaults. Riley recognizes BJ as the exact man he saw with Samantha and the man on the sketch that the detective showed him. Riley's eyes shift to a nurse named Harper, who just has arrived to check on his grandma. Riley excuses himself as he receives a call from his brother-in-law, leaving Harper to treat the cold sore on the grandma's underlip. Riley sighs in relief as he is told that he's all clean and has nothing to worry about because he doesn't have what Samantha had, a necrotic STD. This concerns him as he didn't know about Samantha's necrotic STD when he hooked up with her. As he leaves his room, his grandma suggests that he come to Alice's memorial with Harper, to which she agrees to come. Riley's grandma smirks as her plan to hook up her grandson with Harper works. On the other side, BJ records a chilling message in his hideout. As he stares at numerous photographs, BJ records that these people deserve a disease, a plague that will ruin their lives and the very people close to them. Meanwhile, while in his office as a social worker, Riley receives a visit from a client, a woman acting strangely. Riley tries to offer her an open space to share what she's going through, but the woman does something instead. The woman shows her arms and weeps as she repeatedly tells Riley that something is under her skin, while digging into her own skin to remove whatever it is. After calling security to deal with her, Riley quickly heads to the bathroom and washes his hands so as not to get infected. Later that night, Riley's sister's bitchy attitude turns on at Alice's memorial for no reason and subtly insults Harper's dressing choice. Harper ignores her remarks so as not to be rude. At that same time, the detective manages to locate BG's home address. Meanwhile, the sister makes a speech to remember Alice by sharing the new books she has written in memory of her. They then listen to an original song written by one of Alice's friends in honor of her. As they do so, Riley hears ringing in his ear, causing him great pain and his nose to bleed. His blood drips on the cheese sauce. Riley quickly goes to the bathroom before anyone can ask what's wrong. There, Riley makes a mess as he sneezes, splattering his blood all over the mirror and the sink. Harper follows him shortly after. As the song ends, Riley's sister takes a chip, which she dips into the cheese sauce before eating it. Riley quickly cleans his mess as Harper talks to him through the bathroom door. Riley invites her for a drink, and Harper gladly accepts. On the other side, the detective heads to BJ's house, where she discovers his creepy hideout and other things relating him to the deaths. At this time, Riley takes Harper to a downtown bar. They drink as they talk when Riley receives a message from an unlisted number, telling him that he should not have talked to the police. Riley doesn't disclose this to Harper and silently replies to the sender, asking for its name. But it only replies that Riley knows who it is. Under the influence, Harper gets brave and makes a hormone move on Riley, initiating a small massage on the lips without using their smelly tongues. Possibly getting wet by that, she excuses herself to the bathroom, leaving Riley somewhat dumbfounded and impressed. Shortly after, Riley experiences the pain in his back again, but not only that, his vision becomes blurry and buzzing starts forming in his ears, giving him a headache. Riley also starts coughing. Despite that, Riley tries his best to stand up and leave until BJ shows up and takes him to a secluded area. Albeit his head spinning, Riley hears BJ clearly telling him that he is the virus carrier and he has given it to Samantha, who hooked up with Riley. At that exact moment, the detective finds photographs of the dead woman and recently taken pictures of Riley in BJ's hideout. Just as she finds concrete and strong evidence against BJ, the hooker from earlier, who has now been infected, attacks the detective. She has no choice but to shoot the hooker in the head, killing her instantly. The following day, Riley wakes up groggy in his house, so he calls in sick at work. As he pees, veins are faintly evident on his face and neck. Riley repeatedly curses as he sees his toilet filled with blood instead of urine, which he tries to stop. Fortunately, it does stop, but the buzzing in his ears returns, and blood starts to form in his eyes. Riley removes his shirt, revealing some kind of a worm in his skin and dozens of little yellowish bumps on his back. After the physically excruciating pain, Riley prepares to leave when he sees the news asking people with flu-like symptoms like Riley's to seek medical attention. Riley turns the television off and bids goodbye to his sleeping grandma. As Riley leaves the house, his grandma suddenly opens her eyes, revealing that she's also infected. Her eyes are a mixture of white and gray, and blood starts to drip from her nose. As Riley takes his car out of the driveway, Grandma's churchmate comes to the house. While driving, Riley leaves a message to Harper, apologizing for leaving her last night and asking her to call him as soon as possible. Riley does the same to his brother-in-law, asking him not to leave the house and call him back. Riley reaches their home shortly after and walks into his sister and brother-in-law hooking up. The brother-in-law snaps at him for disturbing his day off. But when Riley shows his red bloodshot eyes, the brother-in-law immediately tells him to go to the hospital. Expectedly, Riley refuses as he wants to find BJ in hopes of gaining a cure. Riley leaves before his brother-in-law can take him to the hospital. As this happens, the detective receives a visit from a special agent from Chemical Biological Defense of Homeland Security. The agent plays a recording tape for the detective, revealing BJ's threat to spread himself, the disease flowing in his blood to cleanse the society. The agent shares with the detective that BJ started sending threats to the Bureau a year ago, but they dismissed him as they did not consider him a threat. However, he went from sending threat tapes daily to the national defense. BJ has a highly contagious viral pathogen in his blood to which he is immune, and he is spreading this disease with a 100% mortality rate. After this, the agent leaves the police station. Meanwhile, Riley's right eye has turned white-grayish, and he now has bumps on his face and body. So he stops at a convenience store to buy some stuff while blood drips from his nose. Riley then goes to the bathroom, where he uses whiskey as anesthesia, before cutting himself with a blade to remove the worms under his skin. One by one, Riley removes them before they multiply, enduring the excruciating pain. After that, he stitches the wounds and contacts the detective in his car, asking her to check in on his grandma. Riley thinks his grandma is in great danger as BJ found him last night. After that, he disturbs Harper, who is in the middle of a class. Harper's eyes are red, but she claims it's because she slept with her contact lenses last night. Riley wants her to come with him until a male student interrupts them. Harper gets between the student and Riley before it can escalate, when she suddenly pukes blood all over the male student. Riley quickly takes Harper away. While driving, Riley discloses that BJ is actually raping Samantha that night. Riley saw BJ's license plate number, which he had given to the police, causing him to be BJ's main target now. Riley adds that BJ drugged him at the bar last night and threatened everyone close to him that they would suffer great pain before dying. Although they never hooked up, Harper kissed him last night, unfortunately infecting her too. Riley adds that they need to find BJ because he's not displaying any symptoms, implying that BJ is immune, which might help them find a cure. On the other side, the detective comes to Riley's house with some police officers to check in on Riley's grandma. However, they are too late. Grandma has already infected her churchmates, and they have no choice but to kill them. Riley and Harper arrive at her place, where she professionally stitches his wounds. Harper excuses herself to the bathroom as her eye begins to hurt again. While she's in the bathroom, Riley gets contacted by the detective, who informs him about his grandma's unfortunate death and BG's involvement with everything. At this time, Harper tries to remove her contact lenses, but instead, she removes her eyeball from the socket without much pain. Riley quickly goes to her after hearing her screams and sobs. They put a bandage over her eye before driving again. While in the car, Riley leaves an emotional voice message to his sister as a way of saying goodbye. They arrive at a friend's house. Riley asks for a gun. The friend gives it to him after seeing Riley's physical state. As Riley holds the shotgun, he shows the friend a sketch of BJ and forces him to reveal where BJ lives. It turns out the friend is the one that invited BJ to the party, but the friend won't say anything else. Fortunately, before blood could splatter across the place, the detective arrives with some officers, as Riley has told her about his plan earlier. Just then, Riley starts bleeding from his mouth before losing consciousness. As he wakes up, Riley finds himself in the hospital beside Harper, who's freaking out and calling out to him before she starts seizing. The hospital staff tries to save her, but Harper dies. That's the last time Riley sees her before he loses consciousness again. The staff quickly put Harper's body in a bag before cremating her just in time as she turns into a zombie. Moments later, Riley wakes up, looking more infected than ever. The detective informs him that the disease is spreading even faster and she needs his help to tell her everything he knows about BJ. Just then, BJ enters the hospital. As the detective walks back and forth in the hallway, BJ enters Riley's room and reveals a bomb wrapped around his body so as to create a massive apocalypse by releasing other hospitalized victims there. BJ walks out to the hallway and the detective finds him. The detective holds BJ at gunpoint, but the sociopath even taunts her. Just then, the elevator opens with two officers inside, allowing BJ to get a hold of his gun while the detective is distracted. BJ shoots everyone, including the detective. BJ walks over to the wounded detective to kill her when Riley comes attacking him from behind. BJ and Riley engage in a struggle. However, Riley's immune system has already worsened, allowing BJ to shoot him 3 times. BJ then focuses his attention on the now weeping detective, who has clearly already lost hope for humanity. But before BJ can kill her, Riley fully transforms into a zombie and attacks BJ. Left with no choice, the detective shoots Riley in the head, killing him again. The scene later shows Riley's brother-in-law coming home to his pregnant wife, only to discover that she is already transformed into a zombie, possibly infecting their yet-to-be-born child. This implies that mankind is indeed in trouble because of the disease BJ spread. This means BJ's plan to cleanse society turns out to be a success. The film ends with a scene showing BJ alive but hospitalized, while a doctor with an Abaddon tattoo tells him, "Very soon, my friend." This implies that BJ did not plan to spread the disease alone, and they are planning a much bigger catastrophe. This Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.